Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is one that I promised you because it's part 2 of a little artwork video that I made a little while ago, entitled Whisper. And we sketched, we inked, and we finished it, but we didn't color. And so that's why I wanted to make a part 2, just going through the coloring process for this little drawing. I decided to go for watercolors. Thought that would be the most fun. And there's a little bit of marker in there as well, but you'll find out. But yeah, let's just jump straight into it. I'm using the Koi Watercolor travel set. It's kind of the only watercolor set that I have at the moment. And I'm not really particularly knowledgeable about watercolors, so I'm not really going to be teaching you how to use them. I might just kind of tell you a little bit about what I'm doing and why I think I'm doing it. Yeah, I'd love to learn more about watercolors and get some proper teaching from somewhere maybe at some point. But essentially it's all about layering. And one of the fundamental things about watercolors is trying to use the white of the paper instead of using white paint, for example. So you can see in her cheek area I've got the bounce of the light bouncing on her cheek, so I've kind of left the white of the paper showing through. And that's kind of the mindset you have to go into. I find it much easier to go with very subtle colors first. Maybe that's because I'm a little bit timid and scared, maybe a little unconfident, perhaps, especially with this artwork because I'm pretty rusty. My life has been very interesting the last 3 months and I haven't really done a lot of artwork, so this is kind of me just jumping back into watercolors. In fact, I haven't used watercolors for a long time. So yeah, I'm a little bit rusty. I'm a little bit apprehensive because it's really easy to mess up. You mess it up, there's not really a lot of going back with this. And I didn't really want to ruin this artwork, so I was a little bit cautious and just laying down some sort of some light green to start with, kind of figuring out where some of the shadows might be. Not really thinking about it too much, really, just kind of getting the gist of where I might want to take the rest of it. But the main figure in the background, she seems to be kind of made of leaves and stuff, so I figured that she would be green, shades of green, yellow, that kind of stuff. I might actually put some brown in later on. That could look pretty cool. So what I'm doing here is I've just mixed a new shade of green, a little bit darker and a little bit more blue. Still very green though, obviously. And I'm just kind of reinforcing the shadowy, darker areas, under the chin, under the jawline, around the eyes, under the nose, under the top lip, and that sort of thing. On the other sides of the leaves, and things like that, just anywhere where I know that that's where the shadows kind of are going to go. Again, I'm just going over the exact same thing as I did before, except I'm using an even bluer and an even darker green just to push those shadows back even further in a smaller capacity. But as you can see, it's slowly building definition and form. Next, I'm going to do something that I really love doing with these green leafy kind of characters, which is boosting them with this really bright yellow. It just makes everything come really vibrant. So I'm just kind of laying that on top of mostly the lighter areas, not really into the shadows. But I'm making sure it's a little watered down, because otherwise it would be a little bit too vibrant, and I don't really want that. But you can put that yellow on top of all of the paint that you've already put on there, and it kind of just blends everything together, and yeah, it just kind of brings it all together in a nice, vibrant kind of way. Now that the hair is mostly done, I probably will go back and add a little bit more purple and chuck those shadows a bit darker into her hair. But I'm actually going to use the same color of the hair into the skin just to push back those shadows even further. Again, this is like the third time I'm doing that, but it really does add a lot more depth when you go into your shadows and you change color as you do. It just makes it interesting, I think. Now for this next part, I'm actually going to use some Copic markers, and the reason for that is because the watercolor kind of sits on top of the ink line work, and it does actually change the dynamics of the ink. So if you might be able to notice in some of it, maybe not. I can tell when I'm doing it anyway that when I'm painting over line work, it does make the line work lighter, and I really didn't want that for the background. I really wanted it just to be vibrant and dark, so I thought, well, I'll just use some markers. There's nothing wrong with like mixing your media, like it's fine. Whatever works, right? So I'm just using a neutral, I can't actually remember what it was, a neutral kind of, can we see on the video? I can't see. Neutral, N6, there it is, N6. A neutral 6 grey Copic sketch marker, and I'm just kind of filling in all the little white bits in the background. And I really liked doing the background like this, but leaving it white was just way too busy for this piece. So I felt like it just needed to be pushed right back. And it's still there, but it's like it's subtle texture and subtle detail. That's really what we want. We don't want it to stand out too much. So I'm just going to spend a good 20 minutes filling all of this in. So this piece has definitely been a bit tricky to color because I feel like I was just really winging it. I didn't really have a specific plan as to what I was going to do. And yeah, it was a little bit of a tricky kind of thing to kind of pull it together. But as you can see, I'm going to let this video just like go on fast forward. We're going to time lapse the rest of it because you know, we're kind of running out of time here. I want to keep these videos kind of as short as I possibly can because that's just better for YouTube. I'll make longer videos in the future somewhere else. But for now, I hope you enjoyed the video. You'll probably see later on that I kind of did a bit of a yellow wash over the fairy character at the bottom, which really tied her together, and I thought it really made her work with the rest of the image as well, because it just wasn't working, but I think I managed to fix it. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check me out on Patreon and Instagram, Facebook, all the things, and Twitter. But most importantly is Patreon, because you guys, your support really actually extremely helps me pay my bills and keeps me working. So love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. I'll see you next time.
you.